Okay, so I thought I'd make a video regarding F1 2020 so far and where the pace has been, etc. So this is both of my AOR evaluation races I did. This one here at Bahrain, followed by Brazil that I did. So coming to the first one, Bahrain, I think a couple of days before this was when I got my new wheel, as most of you probably know now. Used Fanatec from the Thrustmaster because it was dying on me, so I thought a new wheel for the start of the new game would be nice. But yeah, I was struggling quite a lot with it. It was mainly the pedals. The actual feel of the wheel was fine, but the brake pedal was a lot harder than I was used to because I used to use the clutch pedal on my Thrustmaster, and then the throttle pedal was quite a lot longer, so I was definitely struggling with it, and you can probably tell from this footage in the background. The first 2 laps I did of my Bahrain qualifying were abysmal, to say the least. 25.1 is a long way off the pace. My PB in this session was not in this session, but in practice was a 24.7. I think I literally did the lap before this session happened. So as you can see, it's a bit of a, I don't know if it looks bad or not, but it just wasn't quite there in the actual thing. For some reason, I seem to struggle quite a lot in the actual qualifying sessions of an event rather than in practice, which definitely need to work on. But obviously, with the new wheel, I was definitely struggling. Yeah, I can see that in the little picture I've got here, but I think that's 2.5 tenths up. So we're on for a 24.9ish, which is still not really anywhere near where we want to be. Currently, you've got AOR on pole with a 24.7. So I knew we could sort of get there. I think we are 600ths off AOR coming through the second sector split, so that's good. But we lost quite a lot of time coming into the last sector, and then I think again through the final corner we lost. Actually, we lost a little bit. So we're only just going to improve by just over a tenth, and it's going to be a 25.0, which is so far off the pace, and that was a bit of a hit. I didn't really want to upload that, if I'm going to be completely honest, because I was quite ashamed that he only managed to do a 25.0. So yeah, it wasn't the best start in the world, but I had to deal with it. I knew obviously we had the pace to probably stick with the leaders as we quickly skip on to the start of the race now as the lights go out. I'll just talk over this and you can sort of see what happens in the background, but yeah, I think I was pretty sure I still had a good chance of winning this race as we're going a bit deep to turn 1. I knew my race pace usually on the older games anyway was a lot better than it was in the qualifying, so I was thinking, right, this first stint, the tyres wear very quickly around here. I was going to go onto the hards on lap 8, which is probably a little bit early, but with the damage that's not on in the evaluation races, you can sort of get away with it. But anyway, yeah, sticking with Aero and Michelle, something like, I don't know how you say that, but anyway, skipping on to lap 2, as you can probably see, it's not going too well at the moment. I mean, what's this lap time going to be? A 29.4, which is not really anywhere near where you want to be. You want to be high 28s to low 29s as the Mercedes goes for a move on Aero to take the lead. And we've used quite a lot of ERS as well, which is not ideal, as you sort of want to be, when you're in the DRS, just keeping the ERS quite high so you can use it when you really need to. And I think there's a common theme across this video actually is me using quite a lot of ERS. I think that's definitely something I need to work on before the league racing season starts. But as you can see in the background then, I went into turn 4, I believe it was, and just completely lost the rear end, and that has cost me the DRS, and also it's just completely killed the rear tyre. As you can see, by end of lap 7 as we pit, the gap was like 2.3 seconds, and F1MD in the racing point behind has started to catch us, so it's not going to plan, I could say at the moment, but I was hoping, get off these horrible softs and put the hards on and see how we can go. Ideally I needed to be in Aero's DRS to stick with. I think at this point in the race I would have been happy to just come home in 3rd place, just stick some solid consistent lap times in, and hope that was good enough. But as you can see at lap 10 we make another mistake. again, another common theme, and that allows F1MD right into the back of us. You can look at the ERS bar, we've got 7%, which I've now learned once you're below 10%, you may as well not have any at all, because you just have nothing. He goes down the inside of me. I tried to... I wasn't really trying anything there, but yeah, I was just going to try and let him through and then regain some ERS and hopefully try and get back past him again at some point. But as you'll be able to see in a minute, that's not exactly how it happened. Everyone seemed to pull away and we skipped to the very end of the race, and that was it for Bahrain. Not a lot to show really, it was just a pretty poor race, 87% on the rear tyres. Thankfully damage isn't on, but yeah, it was a poor race from my end. I can make excuses as much as I want, but at the end of the day, it wasn't there. Obviously the new wheel and everything, but wasn't too happy with it. As you can see, yeah, I was looking at my lap times. I was doing a very inconsistent low 30s, mid 30s, which is ridiculous. Half a second at least off what you want to be doing, if not more. As you can see, the Mercedes that led was doing mid 29, so we were like 8 tenths off at some points in that race. But yeah, we're able to rectify that in this one. A week later, I went into Brazil. It was looking a lot more confident through this one. I think my PB was a 6.2, but I knew there was definitely more time in that as well. I've been close to 0.1s and just messing up and stuff in practice, so I would have been content with a low 0.3, happy with a 0.2, but you can see my run so far. I think I did a 0.6 in the first run, 0.5 second run. We cut turn 4 on our third run. Once again, it just seems to be a common theme at the moment with the qualifyings, as I've said many times. But again, this was going to be our final run, invalidated on the outside. So now all the pressure comes down onto this final, which is really not what I wanted. Down in 7th place at the moment, so we could do with a good lap in this on this final run. So I run through turn 1 and 2 were not ideal. I think this is going to be a lowish 0.4 in the first sector, which is probably a tenth and a bit, not a tenth, sorry, a bit less than a tenth off what I should be doing as a Ferrari spinning. But you'll see in this lap, it's just not ideal. I don't know what it is about the actual thing. I just seem to not really get it together. People say it's the pressure and stuff, but I don't see AOR evaluation race how it makes much difference. But yeah, as you can see, we're marginally up. I think this is the best corner we had on the lap. Was the last corner. I think I did a 0.1 in the last, which is the only respectable part of the lap. But coming onto the line, it's going to be a mid-ish 0.4. Let's see where we get. It's going to be P5, so that is not ideal, but as Onyx does a 0.0, so I think we could have probably got very good. P3 on a really good lap, but 0.4 middle. Yeah, there wasn't too much in there as we skip again to the start of this race. The aim again was to move forward off the start, trying to get a good start and see what we can do, as it wasn't really that good of a start. We've got the racing point upper inside there as we commit to the outside on the Mercedes, and we do get that move done. Blizzard goes off the track, and then he is side by side with IGK Zach. So we're just going to sit here and see what happens. If Blizzard gets shoved out, then we know we've got an opportunity to get up into P3. Blizzard goes around the outside, goes off the track slightly, but they're side by side. We take this opportunity to put into the overtake mode and make an opportunistic move up the inside of IGK Zach. Tiny bit of contact on the apex, but I was pretty happy with that, getting up into P3. I was thinking, you know, if we can just follow Onyx and Blizzard, which are top end AOR F1 pace, we should be on here for a really good, strong race. And that is pretty much the aim. So we'll skip on to end of lap 4. As you can probably see, again, struggling for pace slightly. I mean, we're sticking with, it's not like I'm going to fall out the DRS or anything, but we have used a lot of the ERS deployment, and that is, again, something that will become crucial in the end of the race. Skip to lap 11. This is where we get a penalty for slight oversteer moment. Yeah, we do. But yeah, I don't know what. Again, in practice I was slightly quicker in the race, so I could keep with Onyx from what I did in practice. I don't know why this seems to be occurring at the moment, but it's definitely something that could be fixed. Ended up 12, messed that corner up slightly and got a bit of oversteer on the exit, and now Zach is all over the back of us. And I was fairly sure that he was going to overtake us here, so I decided to take this opportunity to pit, try and get an undercut on potentially getting to P2, so I could just sit there for the rest of the race and follow, and maybe make a move if I was quicker in the second stint. But yeah, the undercut and just defending from Zach so I didn't get undercut myself was the aim. Lack of Bahrain, the tyres will definitely make the end because there's no damage on, obviously, so it doesn't matter the wear, it's just as long as you can keep it on the track. But yeah, we come out onto the track, not too much traffic, so we should have a fairly decent outlap, and I think you'll see in a minute we had a purple middle sector as the rest of the field is in the pits. I don't know if anyone got held or anything, but Blizzard did jump Onyx just before the pit stop, so I was expecting to come out sort of the same place as I went in, but we actually come out side by side with Blizzard, who is the net race leader. We're on the outside. I wasn't really wanted to fight too much. I was happy to just follow in through, but the main thing being we got ahead of Onyx, who I'm pretty sure was the fastest driver in this race, so I was pretty confident I could stick behind Blizzard without letting Onyx through. So again, that was the aim, but we got a little bit of traffic as Blizzard gets through. I'm not rotating in the background what I'm saying, but yeah, I ran out of ERS again, and that stopped me from being able to overtake the Williams, which is crucial. And I think I need to start caring for the ERS a little bit more, because it's a very crucial part, and if you become low on it, it can be quite hard to save, and at the same time you really do need that. Come around the final corner this lap, put into overtake before I got the traction down, and that's giving Onyx a free invitation to make a move on me, as well as having no ERS. And look at the overspeed he gets once I run out of the battery. He goes over to the outside. I'll try to stick it around down the inside and just hold it there, make a slight bit of contact on the apex, but he makes that move stick. So now we've got no ERS again, and look at him pull away, and then look at Zach behind, who's going to make a move on us for P. He's going to go into the podium positions, and he does do just side by side. I've got no ERS again, and he does make the move stick. So I was pretty annoyed by that. That one small mistake out of the final corners cost me 2 positions, when realistically in a DRS trend like this you shouldn't really be losing positions. So yeah, I was quite annoyed, but the aim now was to just try and save some ERS and potentially wait for something to happen at the end of the race. But again, we make a mistake at the final corner. That is another common theme of this race. I don't know how many times I've said common theme now, but yeah, another thing, every time I tried to save ERS, I'd have the Mercedes behind me that would use it out the final corner, and then I'd have to use it to defend. So it was slightly annoying, but yeah, I mean, I guess the same for everyone, so we just got to deal with it. I've just got to not use as much in the future. As the top 3 start fighting now, I think Onyx got past Blizzard. Anyway, we'll skip on to the second to last lap of the race now. It's just going to train the whole time pretty much. Blizzard was trying to line up Onyx for the final lap, made a bit of a mistake, goes out really wide, taking the F1 2010 line there, and they just managed to make it through. And I saw this as an opportunity to potentially get a move. In hindsight, I shouldn't have used all my ERS here. I used it all down this back straight when I really didn't need to. Ajikizak gets on his inside, and we'll see what happens here going to the first corner. My PlayStation keeps doing that stupid cutting thing. I don't know why it does it with the clips sometimes, but anyway, we've got no ERS again, and Blizzard goes around the outside. Does he? Tries to make it, he ends up on the grass. And it's all pretty much status quo. Blizzard drops down to P3, but I'm still stuck here in 4th, so yeah, not much I could have done. It's a race that could have been, really. I think we definitely, me and Blizzard could, after that pit stop phase, have finished 1-2 really, but it's not to be. As we come across the line now with no AOR left,
Not him.
and it is P5 after the Mercedes behind doesn't get a penalty. So.
Gavin.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I was fairly happy with the pace in that race. Obviously, it's hard to compare because it's just a DRS train, but the qualifying really does need work, and hopefully they have faith and still put me in the top tier for this season. But we'll have to see. I mean, you can tell clearly that the top 5 in that race were a lot quicker than the rest, but
almost too sweaty, like.
Yeah, I think that would have been enough for F1, but it's just the Bahrain race where that definitely wasn't. But anyway, I thought I'd just make a little video showing my evaluation races and just the progress so far. So might do this again for the actual AOR season if it goes down well. But until then, let me know what you thought, and I'll be back again sometime maybe if this goes down well. So yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.